teacher, and everybody out there, the moms and dads watching, we know what a tough year it has been for all of us with the pandemic and how public schools have tried to react. So here's a question for every mom out there. Are you thinking about maybe putting your kid in a private school? We're live with Pete Rupert, CEO of Fusion Academy, to talk more about this. Pete, it's good to see you. And first of all, I do want to give props to our public schools because, I know firsthand, they've tried hard to navigate the pandemic, but they are limited, aren't they, in ways that private schools aren't?
Good morning, Chris. And yes, thanks. No doubt, props for public schools. I was a former public school board member in my community for 5 years, and certainly the challenges. Public schools are generally bigger. They generally have more students per class, and it's a harder situation for them to be able to endure this pandemic. And private schools just are able to be much more flexible.
So let's talk about whether a parent might want to consider switching gears. I think there'd be a number of factors, right? First of all, you might be worried that your kid has grown accustomed to one style of learning. Switching to a private school would mean new teachers, new classmates, new curriculum. Is that one concern?
Absolutely. Anytime you move into a new environment, it's a concern. At the same time, it's always an opportunity, right? It's anytime we have a chance to go through a little change, as difficult as it might be, it's always ultimately healthy for us to endure those. And I think what parents have to assess is, are they satisfied with the learning that their child is receiving in this pandemic at their local public school, and compare that with what the learning opportunities are at a private school. And ultimately, that's what the key is. And in private schools, like I said, they're typically going to be smaller. The classroom sizes are going to be smaller. They can provide a lot more customization than a traditional public school typically can.
Well, very quickly, a couple points. I don't have much time. Number one, are COVID restrictions more flexible in a private school? Are you bound by the same guidelines, or can you be more flexible?
Well, it depends on the state, but generally, the private schools have a little bit more flexibility for sure. They're more independent from the government regulation, but certainly when there's government mandates about protocols and things like that, private schools are required to follow those as well.
And finally, I want to ask about the price, because I think a lot of parents, it's been a tough year for budgets. Are private schools considerably more expensive? Are there ways to get scholarships or grants or discounts?
Well, certainly. Our school, Fusion Academy there in Denver, is a one-to-one customized school where every class is taught one teacher, one student. And that would be kind of the most expensive, if you will. But parochial schools and other private schools certainly cost tuition. So everything is more expensive than what you're going to find in a public school situation, which is generally free because it's taxpayer funded. But there are certainly lots of opportunities, lots of scholarships, a lot of need-based programs that are available for parents. And I would just encourage every parent, if they're interested in that, to really dig in, contact their local private schools, and see what the opportunities are for aid and tuition assistance, et cetera.
All right. Well, it's good having you on the show. Thank you for giving our folks and our moms and dads at home more options. We got their backs, and so do you. It's good to see you this morning, my friend.
Thank you, Chris. Take care. Have a great day.
You too. 8:21 here on your Thursday, and here's